Parties who are concerned with what is happening in our country and have agreed to work with others for us to try to bring about amends.
My name is Auxilia Rupe Ponga. I'm the chairperson for the Zambia We Want.
My name is Chishala Kateka, President, New Heritage Party. Our party has been very concerned about what has been happening, and we have been very, very vocal regarding this issue of the Constitution.
My name is Trevor Mwanga. I'm the President of UNIP. And as we are all children of UNIP, the party that has always stood for values and selfless service, and indeed for a country that is founded on one Zambia, one nation, and that's what we want our country to be and live on. Thank you.
My name is Andy Ford-Maire-Banta. I'm the president of the People's Alliance for Change Party. We stand with OASIS Forum in the work that you're doing, and as a party, we also say no to B7. Thank you.
My name is Kapemwa Simbao. I'm president of Zambia We Want, and our position is similar to yours. We're against Bill 7 for various reasons, and so we're standing with you.
My name is Given Govinda, president of the Patriotic Front, and the man who was behind Bill 10. And I have to say that any attempt at amending the Constitution of Zambia, which does not meet the threshold that Bill 10 met, should be resisted. And Bill 7 falls straight in that category. In solidarity with yourselves, today I have signed the invocation of the three-line whip to all the 55 members of Parliament of the Patriotic Front, instructing each one and every one of them to ensure that Bill 7 flops. I thank you.
Good morning. I'm Mwavada Sesebota from the Citizens First Party. I'm the Deputy Secretary General standing in for President Harry Kalaba, who would have loved to be here to send his regards. The Citizens First Party is very concerned with the manner that the President, the country, using the executive, of course, is trying to advance the illegal constitutional amendments through Parliament. And we have stood with you from the beginning. We were together last Saturday when we had the prayers at the Cathedral of the Child Jesus. And yesterday, was it 2 days ago, we were party to the political consortium, the consortium of the political parties that are here who took the letter to State House to express their disquiet with the current Bill 7. And we are happy to be here to offer more solidarity to the OASIS Forum.
My name is George Chandrafurumanda, Chairperson for International Relations in the Zambia We Want, Chairperson, OASIS Forum, and the team. We stand with you and we support your stance. Your cause is our cause, and we will together win this battle because this is a battle for the people of Zambia, and no one individual has the right or the authority, to push his or her own wishes on the throats of the Zambian people. It has never worked in the past, and this will never work. So, Chairperson, we came to show solidarity to you and your team, and also to just assure you that from this day forward, this battle, we have to get our hands and our minds together. We have to hold hands and make sure that this battle is won.
Thank you. My name is Mohamed Mungu. I'm the Secretary General for the Zambia We Want. Glad to be here. All I can say is that may we all continue to have the courage of conviction so that we can deliver to people what they really want and not what any power people want.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Saratu Sharasakola, the Vice President of the United Kingdom. I think the President has stated here that we in the UAE, we stand in solidarity the OASIS Forum.
So those are the people who have come, and I'm sure you know most of them. If not, you're going over the next couple of days and weeks be seeing a lot of them, because we want to be walking this journey with you, hand in hand with you, very closely with you, because we believe that the only way we can overcome is if we all put our heads together in order to come up with plans which will ensure that this Bill 7, and apart from Bill 7, other things which are taking away from our democracy are fought. So this is, we believe, just the first step. There are very many other things that need to be dealt with in our nation. There is great sadness in the nation because of what is happening. And one of the things which has made us decide to come is the manner in which the government is responding when organizations such as yours seek to try to sit down and have a way forward charted out. And the response that they sponsor after the meeting you had at State House. There are various groups that have been, some of them even issuing actual threats, apart from the insults and derogatory memes that they're making. Some are actually making threats. And it's sad that in a country such as ours, when you're discussing the Constitution, some people resort to threats. We intend to ensure that we are not sidetracked into talking about things which are not at the center of this issue. At the center of this issue is the country and the need for a constitutional arrangement which is driven by the people themselves, which is agreed, which is well thought out. A constitutional process which is not rushed like a 100 meters race. This should be something which is you sit down together and you properly consider. Never have we ever had a bill taken to Parliament for the Constitution where the committee stage is just I believe they're saying it will be just one day. That boggles the mind. How can a serious law, the biggest law, the Grundnorm, be discussed in a day? It shows a total lack of seriousness. Even the technical committee, which sat for 14 days, and after sitting for 14 days, within a matter of 3 days, is able to come out with a report. Even that is very questionable. How can you seriously, in 3 days, evaluate? I believe they claimed that there was something like 11,000 submissions, that you evaluate those within a 3-day period and you're doing a proper job. It's not possible. It just shows that all that was merely just for show's sake and not for them to properly consider. What makes it worse is then after the committee has handed in its report, the very following day, you have the government giving to Parliament saying, now let's go ahead with Bill 7. So when did they even consider the report which was given? When did they look at the 11,000 submissions and consider them, evaluate them, weigh them, for them to be able to say, now, Parliament, let's go ahead? It shows a distinct lack of seriousness. It's something that every single Zambian should stand up to and say no. They cannot be allowed to get away with that. And I believe that that is the reason we've come, to ensure that that does not happen. I touched upon the issue of the threats which were made to yourselves, and we condemn those completely. We are saddened that the person who talked so much about not wanting violence, saying do not have the march because of violence and so on, when there's actual violence in that his people are issuing threats, then becomes quiet. When there was a peaceful march, he was very loud, and yet that was a peaceful march which was being planned. There was no violence being planned. But when there's actual violence, because threats, I'm sure my president there of the Law Association will confirm that legally, verbally issuing threats is violence. So there's actual violence, he remains quiet. So by remaining quiet, it is as if he's endorsing the violence and saying it's okay. As the president of this country, he has the duty to set a proper tone. He has that duty. I'm not here on my own. My colleagues are going to expand on the opening remarks, but merely to thank you again for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you. Madam Chairperson and your delegation, as indicated by the President of ULP, we are here to support your cause, which is ours too. We appreciate and consider this to be a noble cause. And when you feel alone and think you are fighting this alone, just remember that we are here. Bill 7 carries implications that touch the heart of our constitutional order. How power is balanced, how institutions operate, and how citizens' rights are protected. When a bill has the potential to shift that balance in ways that may weaken accountability or concentrate power, it is both responsible and patriotic to question that. By standing against Bill number 7, you are sending a clear message. One, that constitutional amendments must be people-driven, and we've heard this in the last so many days, not politically driven. Changes to the Constitution must reflect the will, the needs, and the long-term interests of the people of Zambia, not the convenience of those in power at a particular time. I stand with you today and our party because we believe your position on Bill number 7 is not only justified but necessary for the protection of our democracy and the integrity of our nation. Your stance has been misinterpreted as to be about politics. it is not even about personalities. It is about principle. Bill number 7 cannot be allowed to proceed in the manner that it has been instituted. We cannot afford reforms that undermine checks and balances. Any amendment that risks to weaken or even create loopholes or erode institutional independence must be scrutinized and, if necessary, be rejected. My message to you and your delegation is simple. Do not be intimidated. Do not be made to feel that you are anti-progress. You are exercising your democratic right, and that right, remember, is sacred. Opposing Bill number 7 does not make you anti-government. It doesn't make you anti-development. It makes you pro-constitutional order, pro-democracy, and pro-Zambia. Continue engaging peacefully, intelligently, and firmly. Continue demanding clarity, inclusiveness, transparency as well. Continue reminding our leaders that the Constitution is the people's document, not the government's document. I thank you.
Madam Chairperson and the team, the responsibility to defend our Constitution and our nation rests with every single Zambian citizen. We must never ever shy away from doing the right thing. The OASIS Forum has been consistent through the years and been known to do the right thing. And we want to applaud and encourage you and your team, this current leadership, for not letting the side down. You have done well, and we are very, very proud of you and the work that you have done. What I would like to remind you is, and all Zambians, is that no one that fights the Zambian people and the will of the Zambian people actually wins. It's not something that happens. What does happen is that people, the will of the people, is what presides over the wrong. So, Madam Chairperson and the team, we would really like to encourage you to continue to fight for the Zambian people, because this is not about, and in fact the time has come for us as Zambians to really put Zambia where it's supposed to be. And these shenanigans and gerrymandering need to come to an end so that we begin to build our nation 61 years down the line, and we are still not where we are supposed to be. So what you are doing, the work that you are doing, is part of the process of...
I am delighted to be here with my brothers and sisters in the opposition parties to commend you for the great work that you are doing. We are in it together. We live in a moral universe. Our God is a moral being. In other words, all that matters and all that prevails in life, whether personally, corporately, is what God is. And God is a God of love. We must be people of love. God is a God of truth. We must be people of truth. God is a God of justice. We must be people of justice. God is a God of righteousness. And so, when we see things going wrong, true to our nature. And so, as the OASIS Forum, what you are doing is, in fact, is the work of God, reminding us, encouraging us to stand up for justice, to stand up for truth, to stand up for love, to stand up the end matters. And so, as the president of UNIP, I commend you and remind ourselves what our founding father, who was a great Christian, was a moral icon, to love God with all our heart and to love one another. And in this truth and in this spirit, which legally doesn't even exist, in a way it's a waste of time talking about it. It is the truth and the moral being that matters, and let us fight the good fight, and we shall triumph. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson and the delegation, first of all, I would like to commend you highly for the courageous work that you're doing. This is the same courage that our forefathers fought. We must remember that when the white people came to exploit Africa, for them to manage to do that, they had to implement a constitutional order that favored them. So the fight for independence was not just the fight to get freedom, but was a fight to actually reconstitute, that constitutional order that was so exploitive. And any leader, that plays, in the playbook of the colonialist must be fought, just like our forefathers fought that time. The question is that, do we need institutional reforms? Yes, we do need institutional reforms. The institutional reforms are needed to avoid the same things that we're going through right now. We cannot give powers to one group of people, the executive, to actually change our constitutional order. However, those institutional reforms must be people-driven. They cannot be driven by intentions of a few people to advance their own personal agendas. And clearly, looking at the rush and the manipulation in the process of recreating, the Constitution, which is our sacred document, we can see that this is not just about making things correct, but it's about manipulating the people and implementing evil intentions which some people have held for quite some time. So we want to actually commend you for what you're doing. We believe that the young people, a lot of institutional reforms that are not people-driven, they want to hear about jobs. They want to hear about the solutions to the energy crisis. They want to hear about other solutions. And they'll be happy to be part of a process that is people-driven. In conclusion, as the People's Alliance for Change PAC and as a group of other opposition, we just want to give you the solidarity that you need, and please be assured that from now onwards, like President Sakua Scott said, you see a lot of action from us, and please know that you're not alone. Thank you very much, and we say no to Bill 7. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, my name is Kapembwa Simbao. I'm the president for the Zambia We Want. My chairperson area spoke to this issue. I'll use the word dupe the Zambian people. And this is the delimitation. I want to say to the Zambian people that they are being lied to by the ruling party using delimitation as the reason why this Bill 7 should be passed through Parliament. And the reason is this: a delimitation of the constituencies. And that report is there. So what beats my mind is why they can't just pick that report and go ahead and implement it. But they're trying to bring up an issue like it has not happened. There is a report that was done, and all the constituencies were delimited. I remember my constituency, Senga Hills, they gave us 2 constituencies. I remember Kasempa was given 3 constituencies. And that report is there. So I want the Zambian people to understand that you're not being told the truth. It's not the limitation that this government is pushing. It's a different agenda. For this reason,
We believe, as the Zambia we want, that the OASIS Forum is pushing the right approach so that we don't waste money on things that are already there. It's just an issue of implementation. The Zambian people must understand that this is going to cost a lot of money and they should not support it. So we are here to support the OASIS stand as our own. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson, members of the press, I want to align my thoughts, the presentation of the Citizens First, to what the other presidents have already alluded to. We are indeed here to offer our support and solidarity to the work of the OASIS Forum, because we have the common agenda of ensuring that we have good governance and democracy in our country. And we take cognizance of the fact that the Constitution is a fundamental tool for enhancing and ensuring good governance and democracy. And we are also cognizant of the fact that the Constitution never remains static. It undergoes periodic reviews in order to ensure that you make it more and more progressive. And we would have been very happy with some of the lines, some of the nuances that are in the current Bill 7. We would have been happy with having more women in Parliament. We would have been happy with having more youth in Parliament. However, the process is not transparent. Up to now, we do not know the report that they are using for the delimitation. They are saying it's the 2019 report, but the 2019 report, when you look at the kind of narratives that we're getting from the executive, it really does not add up. Because I'm very sure that the 2019 delimitation report never mentioned some of the regions being sidelined, as the case has been. So we would love to have a more transparent and a more progressive constitutional amendment where the people of Zambia are the drivers of the narrative that is enshrined in the reviews that are being undertaken. We would have been happy if State House and the executive had actually taken a back seat while they allow the people to dialogue, the people to negotiate, and to give ample time, as the chairperson has said, State Council Sakwiba Scott has said, that we needed to give more time to this process, because a constitution is too serious a matter to be undertaken within 1 month and concluded within 1 month. It is about each and every Zambian. It is about the people that are in the four corners of Zambia. It is never about expediency or political expediency for those walking the corridors of power. So while they may pass this amendment, the Bill 7 today or tomorrow, we know that even if it's passed, I think you and I still have work. Everybody in this room still have work to ensure that whatever is done gets to be undone at some point, because nothing lasts forever. But leaders come and go. Today we have UPND in power. Next year we have elections. We'll have another country, another party that takes over. And we want a constitution where each and every Zambian is actually happy and proud to own this constitution. Today, you and I are excluded from owning this Bill 7 because they don't want to listen to us. They don't want to listen to the voices of reason. The other day, we saw how they paraded people who had very strange accents, speaking and saying they want new, they agree with what the technical committee has done.
So what measure did they use to decide that those people can be party to the report that has been done by the review team and others should not be party to that? You know, we had people insulting you, Madam Chairperson, and your team paraded there, and they are insulting you, dressing down the entire OASIS Forum and the clergy of this country. And for us as Citizens First, we say we will not stand by and watch such happenings in this country. We will be with you and the OASIS Forum, and as we move forward, and we have, I think, a joint, we share the journey together, so that prosperity does not charge us. We want every Zambian, the future generations, to be part and parcel of this constitution. Our children are looking. Posterity will definitely judge us if we just sit by. Maybe also just to speak to our good MPs that are from the PF, our good MPs that are part of the independence, part of the independent MPs, but also those that are coming from UPND. They must examine their conscience. Is their conscience really free for them to push this agenda of Bill 7? Today they are in power, tomorrow they will not be in power. They have families. Even if they do not have children, they may still have families, because a family in our environment is not about one who gives birth to somebody. It's about your neighbor. It's about your clan. It's about your community where you're from. So please, let's examine, have your consciences examined. Are you okay with advancing this bill as is? Please, it's not too late to do the right thing. Thank you, Madam Chairperson.
Madam Chairperson, a famous phrase in constitutional amendment processes is process protects content. And let me be very clear. Had this process begun 4 years ago, had all the people who submitted to this process been identified, had all those people been brought together in a forum to debate their submissions, had the process been guided by an act of parliament, had the committee at parliament provided no less than 45 days to the public to go and engage with parliamentarians on the process, I don't think I would have been here. I would have been quite well satisfied that people were consulted. And yes, you as OASIS Forum and others stood shoulder by shoulder with Hakainde Hichilema as president of the opposition UPND, opposing a product of 4 years of work, a product that was guided by an act of parliament, a product that was presented to the people through government gazette notice, a product that was subjected to people interrogation through 45 days of committee sitting at parliament. And yes, at the end of it, we saw UPND MPs celebrating the fall of Bill 10. You stood tall over that process. The process that this bill has undergone falls short, far short of all previous constitutional amendment processes. And the first ones I would expect to stand tall again are those UPND MPs who objected to the passage of Bill 10. If they were sincere then, when they stood up and said Bill 10 hadn't been a product of consultation, I challenge their sincerity. All of them. I challenge the sincerity of the President of the Republic of Zambia. Was he sincere then when he said Bill 10 did not meet the required consultation threshold? If he was sincere, and if he's a sincere man, he and his cabinet and all his MPs ought to stand tall again and reject Bill 7, because it is a product of a highly shambolic process, one in which very few people were engaged. And by the way, the technical committee that was set up by President Hakainde must tell us at which point are their findings going to dovetail with Bill 7. Because the current Bill 7, which is at Parliament, was presented to Parliament even before that committee commenced its work. And no one has told us how they intend to use the product of the technical committee to inform Bill 7. Again, we're being treated to deceit. Will parliamentarians allow that they pass a bill that is shrouded in deceit? The challenge falls first on President Hakainde and his MPs. And as for the MPs from the Patriotic Front, here is an opportunity for you to stand tall on behalf of Zambia, the current generation and generations to come. We stand in solidarity with you because it is a noble cause that you're pursuing, and we wish you well. Yes, there will be trials and tribulations, but remember that you're doing this for the million Zambians, and it can't be an easy task. It ought to be followed by tribulations. So weather the storm. We stand with you. Thank you.
Madam Chairperson and the committee, I have a little confession to make. This morning when I woke up, I was in low spirits. I was feeling sad, looking at what was going on, in the manner in which the state was dealing with everything. But I must say, after hearing my colleagues speak this morning, I no longer feel sad. I feel emboldened. I feel actually quite elated that we are coming together in order to fight this. And I hope that that feeling that I got from my colleagues speaking has also touched yourselves, and that you equally feel stronger as a result of that. I would like to just expand on 2 points that some of my colleagues talked about. I think it was Ambassador Botha who said that this does not end with Parliament. And I think that the message really that we are giving to the parliamentarians is that should they do the wrong thing, those whose names will appear in the wrong column, all of us here are going to campaign against them. I believe even yourselves are going to campaign against them. So civil society, the church, in all of the constituencies will campaign against them. So as they go to vote, they should keep that in mind, that this fight carries on, and they better be on the right side, on the winning side, and the winning side is with the people. The other point that I wanted to touch on and expand is what President Lubinda touched on. President Lubinda did state that there have been previous constitutional changes and constitutional reviews. One of the things that President Hakainde said at his presser, he was saying there have been constitutional amendments taken to Parliament in an election year, so why can't we do so? There is a major difference, and I think that was highlighted by what President Lubinda said. Those which were brought, even if they were brought to Parliament in an election year, the process started years before. It was not a rushed thing. In that same election year, you are bringing the bill to Parliament. The only time there was such a thing happening was in 1991. And that was very peculiar in that it was in fact not government rushing it there, but the people all said you must get rid of Article 4 and change it. It was the people making that demand and bringing it in that year. So that argument of his is false. Having said that, Madam Chair, we hand over to you for your observations and statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Delegation Leader. As OASIS Forum and Chairperson representing my colleagues, I would want to start by thanking you for this courtesy call in solidarity with what we are doing. This fight for us is not about political parties, which one we like and which one we don't like. This fight for us is about defending the Constitution. And defending the Constitution is one of the reasons OASIS Forum was formed. Therefore, we stand firm on our principle or one of our principles as OASIS Forum as we are doing our work. Bill 7 for us, we are not actually dwelling so much on the clauses. We are dwelling so much on the process. The process is a nullity, which renders Bill 7 an illegality, and that is where we are basing our argument. If you tell us to go to the clauses, definitely we will be swayed because there is the issue of inclusion, and this has been our mandate that we have been fighting for. It's actually our advocacy point. So if we begin to look at the clauses, we may even abandon the thing that we are doing for the Zambians, because what we are doing is to have a constitution that is going to stand the test of time, because it was created on the basis of a proper process that will inform the content. I want to mention here that this is not the first time we are standing with well-meaning Zambians to defend a matter that threatens the peace or the constitutionalism. For example, in the last few events that we have stood with people like yourselves, I think we've done it very well, and it has been supported even by the UPND, which is in government today. We've held meetings in this same room to defend something that we feel is not good for the Zambians, and this is what we are doing right now. We are grateful, and we know that this issue that we have on the table today, or I call it the elephant in the room, is actually threatening the independence of the arms of government. Why do I say so? The judiciary ruled against this bill to proceed. I think we saw at some point the legislature calling on the executive to take back the bill in Parliament. Quite strange. Then we don't have the independence of the three arms of government. And if we don't have that, then we don't have anything that we are going to depend on as Zambians. If the executive is going to rule over the legislature, the executive is going to rule over the judiciary, then we are as good as not living in a country worth living in. I think it's good that we are here together, and also this gives me an opportunity without permission from my colleagues to speak to you as our opposition leaders. I think we are looking at you, we are watching you, we are seeing the confusion that is there, and we are worried as Zambians. That is what is going to make the ruling party have the energy and the character that they have today, because they are seeing the confusion that is in the opposition. You know yourselves, you know who can lead, you know, you weigh yourselves and say, for this time around, we cannot all be presidents. When we weigh ourselves, we can know one or two that we can depend on to say this one can be our leader. So this is an assignment to you as well. Go back and work on who should be your leader and support that one person. For as long as you all remain presidents and appear on that ballot paper, I can assure you votes will be split, and what you want to achieve, you will not achieve. I thought I could mention that as just an opportunity given to me in the presence of all of you. The last one is that we wrote a letter to the members of Parliament trying to appeal for them not to support Bill 7 in case it slips through our hands and goes to Parliament. Unfortunately, the day we delivered the letter, Parliament refused to receive the letter on behalf of the members of Parliament. We will take this opportunity to deliver the letter through you to the members of Parliament. I thank you. Okay. So I think we are done. My colleague says whatever I've said is good enough.
We have one president.
Yes, yes. Oh, yes, we have one president here. We don't have so many. Please work on that.
Yes, a good example.
Yes, yes.
I think that would request that perhaps we have a little bit of time. We can perhaps release the press to be able to go and write their stories and so on.
Thank you.
We can share some ideas that we have, and I'm sure you have some ideas.